Today, we're talking all about building a legacy versus building a brand and business. I want to be very clear about something. I am not just building a brand and business, I am building a legacy. And if you feel this like land in your body, then this episode is for you. Have you ever felt like what you're building, it can't be rushed? Like quick wins, they don't satisfy you anymore. Or you're meant for something deeper than just content, because that is what a legacy is. A legacy, it cannot be rushed. Rome wasn't built in a day. Quick wins, those are for the short term, not the long, infinite game. And you are meant for depth. You're not just doing this for conversions. You are doing this to create impact in this world. All right, now let's talk about a business versus a legacy. Here's the difference. Business focused behavior. Posting because you should, right? You got to follow the rules. You have to post because you should. Changing your messaging every few months. Creating offers just because they sell, just because it's a quick cash injection. Letting algorithms dictate your worth. Doing things that are just going to make you viral, right? Feeling pressure to constantly be visible. Versus legacy focused behavior is creating when something feels true and it wants to move through you. It is that download, it is that inspiration. You feel it in your bones and your body, and you're like, oh, this is it, right? It's creating something so true and real. And you're like, I'm going to do this even if it takes X amount of years or whatever amount of time, as long as it's going to take, I'm going to do this thing. Legacy focusing behavior is staying rooted in one message long enough for it to ripple. And that's what I've been doing this entire year, is being truthful in my messaging with who I actually want to call in, saying no to opportunities that dilute your mission. Thinking in years, not in launches, and protecting your nervous system as part of the work. Your brand or business, it asks, how do I grow faster, right? The quick wins, the quick income injections, the quick way to get clients, the quick way to get viral. Like that's what building a brand asks, right? But legacies ask, what am I here to change? Two completely different messages. If you are a heart-led leader, you are building a movement, you are building a legacy. You're not thinking, how can I scale my business faster to get more money, more clients, all the things. You are asking, what am I here to change? And how can I do that in integrity? And how can I do that with depth? And how can I do that in a way that doesn't feel forced? Are you building something to be seen, or are you building something to be felt? I'm just going to let that one land for a minute. Are you building something to be seen, or are you building something to be felt? Legacy-driven women, we move differently. We choose fewer, higher integrity offers instead of stacking on a million different offers. We allow seasons to be quiet without panicking, because we know it's part of the ebb of and flow of life and in evolving, right? Trusting the work even when it's invisible. When we are so certain that it's going to work out, even though we are in the unknown, even though when we can't see it yet and it's not coming to fruition yet, we are so anchored in and trusting that it is going to work out. And not needing to explain or justify your vision. It just is. You just believe in it. You just have this deep inner knowing, and you're like, this is it. Like, you don't have to make everyone understand. Like, there's some people in your life that are probably like, you're crazy. Like, what are you even doing? Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. I know I've had that happen for this point in my life. You know, my husband, he was like, I know you as like the bridal hair educator. And what is this new thing you're doing now? He doesn't get it because he's not my dream client. So I don't need to I don't need to prove or explain to him. I could try, but it doesn't mean that he has to get it or has to understand it or I have to justify it. I stepped away from bridal education. I let go of programs that worked but no longer felt aligned. I have been sitting in the void instead of immediately replacing income with urgency. Because legacy driven women, we aren't slow, we are intentional. I have been so intentional with every move that I've made, whether it was right or wrong. Honestly, any decision that I made this past year in 2025, it's all been the right decision because it's led me to learn, okay, this is what I have to continue doing, or this is what I don't. And it has given me that awareness. So when you're building a legacy, you are in it for the long game, for the long haul. And I want you to ask yourself right now, where are you rushing something that wants to be unfolded to you throughout time? Where may you be gripping and trying to rush something that is quietly being built with every little micro decision and thing that you're doing? Where are you forcing clarity instead of just allowing it to land with every action and thing that you're doing and the way that you're being? Why don't you just allow it to land? Why don't you just give yourself that space? I know for me, I get the most clarity when blinders are on. I'm maybe doing some, breath work or meditation or yoga or just being just like so present. Like, have you given yourself the space and time to just be present with yourself and start instead of trying to force the clarity around getting the answers? Have you allowed yourself just to be and just to allow it to land for you? I want you to see right now, this is something that I teach in my programs. This is what I teach to my women inside of my Iconic Woman Blueprint, inside of Heart Led Business Academy. The through line of your life, the through line of your genius, the through line of just like everything that you've gone through in your life and who it's made you become today. When I was in the beauty industry for over 20 years, I was able to master my craft, which then I was able to teach as a bridal hair educator. I was able to teach and lead. Motherhood. Ooh, does this expand your nervous system capacity? That made me aware of my nervous system, right? When am I trying to multitask and do all these things and be aware of being present? It really forced me to also discern what it is that I'm doing because you need to plan around, their schedules and you need to be prepared if like your child is sick and it just stretches you in so many ways, right? So motherhood has stretched me into being this iconic leader because it's given me the capacity to go with the flow and be okay with things changing and really having that safety in my body of like, if things change, it's all right. I got this. Like, we're going to go ahead and pivot and move and direct and it's going to be all good because we have to do that as a mother. So that applies in my business. Healing, learning somatics, nervous system mastery. That's allowed me to have depth and this discernment and really allow me to have this sustainable leadership that I am building here. None of this were just like random things that happened in my life, okay? It was all training. It was all preparing me for what I am building now. It's wild. It's wild to look back and be like, oh my God, this has been the growth and evolution. That's why, like, if this seed was planted in my brain years ago, I would not be able to do it. If I had this vision for what I have now in my legacy that I'm building here, the Iconic Woman movement, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I wouldn't be able to do it because I had to live through all of these things and experiences to become the version of myself now who's able to lead at this caliber and at this level. So your past, all the things that you've done in your life, all the things that you've experienced, they were never detours. It was all preparing you for what you're doing now. So I want you to like really look at, you know, every job you had in your life, every experience that you had in your life, every 10x moment, every big milestone. And I want you to ask yourself, like, what parts of your life are you still minimizing that are actually your genius? Like, this is how you really anchor into your genius and then fuel that into and bake it into building your legacy. What are, I like to call it your like breadcrumbs of your brilliance. What are the breadcrumbs that you've been ignoring that have been in you all along? I want you to really realize why what you're building and what I'm building here is a movement, and it is not just a niche. We are all here as a collective to change the freaking world. Like that is not something to be taken lightly. A niche solves a problem, teaches tactics, and ends with information. More and more information. A movement shifts identity, changes how women lead, and alters how success is embodied. I am not just teaching business. I am teaching how to hold leadership in the body, teaching women to stop abandoning themselves at higher levels. Movements, they don't convince. You have nothing to prove. They resonate with your people. So ask yourself, do you want followers or do you want to activate your dream soul aligned clients? This is the energetic filter. Knowing that you are meant for more impact. You know it. You feel it. You just feel it within. A heaviness around playing small. You're like, no, I am not here to play small. I'm not here to play by the rules. You have a responsibility that you can't explain. You're like, I don't know why I was called to do this big thing, but I am. And you can't explain it. You feel this pull towards depth and not noise. If you feel the weight of what you're meant to build, it's not pressure. It is your purpose. And that is a big deal. It is a big deal to claim it, to own it, to master it, to birth this movement into the world and continue to expand, evolve, and grow, and to live into your soul life's purpose through your work. So I want to ask you, what keeps knocking at you that you keep postponing? Where it's like, hello, I'm trying to tell you something here, but you're not really listening, or you kind of are, but you keep pushing it off. What vision refuses to leave you alone? What are you like, oh my God, this is it. This is the thing. But I don't know how I'm going to get there. That's okay. You don't have to know the how. What is the vision that refuses to leave you alone? I am in this for the long game. Okay, this is the legacy lens. I am not here for the quick wins. I am building something that my children can witness. I am creating generational change. Generational change in my lineage. Like, that's not something to be taken lightly. This is not something that is to be taken lightly, what you are doing here. If you are a mother, you are showing your children what, like, the magnitude of what you're building here, that they can witness. Creating work that doesn't cost your health. That is in it for the long game. When you can create work and be an embodied leader with nervous system regulation that doesn't cost your health, wow, that is a win-win scenario right there, right? And that is something that not everyone is able to do. Why? Because they are not equipped with this knowledge, which is why I'm spreading this knowledge. Leading women who lead others. This is the massive ripple effect that I'm creating here with the Iconic Woman movement. It is leading you who lead others. And that is the massive ripple effect that is extending out into this world. And I'm thinking generationally, not transactionally. I am knowing that this is going to grow and evolve through myself, through my children, through others, not just through a transaction. I am not interested in being relevant for a movement. I am interested in building something that outlives me. I am. And I am only invested in working with women who feel the same. If you come to me and you're like, Renee, what do I do to make more money? Then you're not my client. If you come to me and you're like, Renee, how can I make more money so that I can impact other people's lives and my own? So I can do good, great things with this money. And it's not just all about me and making money. There's nothing wrong with making money, nothing. But if that is your only fucking reason just to make more money, then you're building a business and brand and you're not building a legacy and movement. And I'm sorry, but you're sorry, not sorry. We are not an aligned fit. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you build? What would you build if you knew that you couldn't fail? That big, scary dream, that big, scary vision that you have in your heart. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you build? If this wasn't about money alone, what would change? What would change within you? Your choices, the way in which you're approaching things. If you are still here, this wasn't just something for you to consume right now. It was a confirmation. It was a confirmation. You are being initiated into something bigger. You might feel like you're behind, like, oh, it's taking so long. No, you are being initiated into something bigger. This is the movement. This is the work. And if you feel it, I want you to trust that. I will see you in the next chapter. Here we go, 2026. Things are going to get spicy and big around here, and I cannot wait to see what is in store for you. And if you are looking to really bring your legacy and movement to life in this world in 2026, and you're like, yes, ready to go, you're the horse, let's get this momentum rolling, you know what to do. In the description, I have an invite for my Iconic Woman Collective, because this is where we all rise together in our own unique genius. And we collectively rise together to create impact in this world, because we are all iconic women. When we bring our true gifts out, when we bring our true dreams and visions to life and we play big, we are all icons here. And it's time for us to rise as a collective together. I love you so much. I will see you inside. Remember who the fuck you are, icon.